We are sponsored by Soho Bistro and Lounge.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Talk About It with Sam, where we discuss today's current events, life, health, wealth, and lifestyle. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more content. We have so much more to come. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of Talk About It with Sam. On today's episode, I am going to be having a discussion with a good friend of mine, Luna. Luna is coming here with us from her own personal health, wellness, and fitness journey. Luna has been working out for quite some time and does some pretty impressive, strenuous workouts. I'm super excited to have her on. Hi, Luna. Thank you so much for tuning in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Luna, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
1 second. I think I pressed something on the screen here. I don't know what I did.
That's okay.
Okay, hold on. All right, sorry. So I'm originally from Lynn. Currently 35. Grew up in Lynn all my life. So I know most of the people, like the majority of the people on my Facebook and Instagram. So I just been working out. I would say I started like around like 15. I was experimenting with everything, things like that. Encouraged from my dad, from working out. So a lot of it just came from my upbringing, to be honest. And it was just like a natural thing for me to be fit. Like I still try to get used to when people say that to me. And I'm just so used to it that when people are like, oh, like what is your thing? I'm like, I don't really know. It's just like what I just do on a daily basis. So I still till this day get used to how people like perceive me in that way.
Yeah. Wow.
It's still kind of strange to me. Like when certain things, like when they say it to me, I just like, like I gotta remember, like to me, it's like nothing. It's like an everyday like thing, and to someone else, it's just they have like this whole different view that I still try to get like used to.
Wow. Isn't that crazy though, how like some people are raised so differently? Like you're raised in a family or in a situation where exercise is everything. Like your dad is working out every day. So you're raised with a role model that this is a normal lifestyle for you. But then other people see you and they're like baffled by it. Like that's like completely foreign to them.
Yeah, it really is, especially like, since I'm a girl, they just like gonna have a few more questions, but it is what it is. They're gonna have more questions, but it's not really a bad thing. I'd rather them like ask me, than to assume, because
Yeah,
nowadays
for
it's
sure.
normal for them to assume a lot of things about yourself. Like I've heard crazy stuff. I'm like, where are you getting these things from? So
Yeah.
you learn more about like other people that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Even just us having this conversation, like I thought for sure that, you like were like definitely like you were so deep like into the fitness industry and that maybe it was something that you had like done over like the last couple of years. So like even me finding out that this has been like your lifestyle all your life and that this is something that like you were you were kind of born into and that you took a real liking to, like that's super interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It helped. It was like a lot easier for me to get into the fitness lifestyle, even to compete and do everything else that I did. It was a lot easier for me to just to do it, as opposed to someone who just like doesn't do those things. They might do like other types of things, but it was a lot easier to just get into the fitness lifestyle of it.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
And you've competed in bodybuilding competitions, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. Wow, congratulations. You must be so proud of yourself.
I am. People still ask me, do you compete? And that's also an awkward question. Like when they ask me, do you? I'm like, do I? I'm like, I work out. Like if I do, it. When they ask me, they're like, oh, so do you still compete? And I'm like, well, I can, if I want.
Yeah.
It's such a process. It's not like something you can just go and do tomorrow if you decide. So when they ask me, I'm just like, well, I'm always working on myself, so I can be ready to compete. Yeah, that's something that you can't just go to having no gym experience to just jumping into a show.
Right, of course. Of
So
course.
some
I've
people work
seen
out
I've
for 10, 15 years and don't ever do a show, but they're in great shape, but they never competed. And I've seen some people
Mhm.
who have some gym experience and then they'll go into a show like a year later, which is still great too. So, but it's a lot different.
Can you tell us, let's talk a little bit about like the nutrition aspect of it. What does it take as far as like your nutrition intake in order to sustain the bodybuilding physique that you have?
That's a hard question because I love food. I love food, and I'm gonna keep it real. All right, it's a choice. It's a choice because I ain't gonna lie. I'm Puerto Rican. I grew up with the best food. I still love food. I'm not too pressed to being lean. To be honest, it is what it is. I'm more um I focus a lot more on strength. Like I like to strength train. So I don't really care about being too lean at the moment. It's really not a big deal to me. So it's really about the person. Yeah, a lot of people see fit as being usually chiseled out. I'm like, it's a lot because I could do what I do for the next 10 years, but you probably do what you do for the next like 2 years. But I go longer. So I look more for like how much longer can I do this? So for me,
Yeah,
that's what I kind of care more. That's what I care more about, to be honest. So I know it depends what your goals are. But for me, I
right.
love food, but I like to strength train a lot. So that's that's how I would answer that, to be honest, because everyone's so different. This is definitely not a one size fits all place.
Industry. I'm
Lifestyle,
glad that you said that. That's awesome.
definitely. Yeah.
That's beautiful because like here we have like open discussions, right? Open topics, and everybody is entitled to, their own individual plans. Everybody individualize, you have to individualize yourself so that you can hit certain
Yeah.
goals. And you're right. Like it just
Yep.
depends on how you see fitness and how you feel.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people that are like super into like calorie deficits. I know some people that don't
Yeah.
count calories at all. Some people that pound
Mhm.
protein, some people that aren't very fond of it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it really just depends on how it makes your body feel and like what makes you feel good. Um,
Yeah.
but I literally like what you said a lot because it's so important to be able to sustain a healthy lifestyle in a way that is suitable for you in your life. And if you like
Mhm.
certain things and you are accustomed to certain things, and you should enjoy them, right? Because like they always say, you should never deprive
Yeah.
yourself of anything. Because and then
Yeah.
it's like,
And,
what? You're not even living.
yeah. And that's another thing when for me, I feel like I've been there too, where I did count macros and I was every day counting to the gram for a year and a half of what I'm eating. So I understand it, I get it. But that's why where I feel like, I have a choice about this. If I want to compete, then I can really switch it up and I will be on my macros and my grams. Um, but personally I'm gonna eat what I want to eat because I love my food. That's just myself. But again, I strength train. That's more my goal for myself. I don't count currently. I'm not counting macros. After my last show, you do want to take a step back and you want to enjoy your things. And when you are competing, there's a lot of things that you do miss out on, like events, socializing, because there's going to be food everywhere. So you kind of avoid
Yeah.
those things for a long time. And I did for many times. But after my last show, I just took a break and I was like, no, I'm going to go back to my food. I'm going to still go to the gym
Yeah.
though, but I'm going to still eat my
Yeah.
tacos and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what makes me happy. That's what makes me
Yeah.
happy. And I'm going to still do it. Right.
Good.
So,
Good
but
for
to
you. That's
anyone else
awesome.
who wants to count their macros, do it. Whatever makes you
Hmm.
happy. There's really no wrong or right. People want to debate and things like that. I'm like, well, debating about what's your goal? Because what are we talking about here? They're
Hmm.
happy, they're healthy, and that's just what they want to do. But to each their own.
Good. I'm really glad that you said that and that we have the same outlook on it because I feel the same way about it. I think that as long as you're happy as a person and that what you're doing is working for you, then that's all that matters. Like, and people can, like you said, people can debate about it all day long. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like you walk away from that and whatever makes you happy is exactly what you're gonna do.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because it's something
Thank
that you said
you.
is super. You're welcome. But it's super important what you just said that you're not in the process of competing right now. So you can take a step back from that and you can go live your life. And that you know
Mhm.
that tomorrow, if you were to enter a competition, you have the discipline that you need to do what you need
Yeah.
to do it. And I think
Mhm.
that's one of the best strengths that the fitness and wellness kind of like educating yourself will bring is discipline, and having the discipline to know that I can change this tomorrow. Like I can go out and I can have a great weekend and I can
Yeah.
do whatever I'm doing. And but on Monday morning, I'm right back to my shit. And it's
Yeah. Like
like,
in
and just knowing
moderation.
that.
I'm not saying go out and do,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Like I do still try my best if I do go out to make like I do modify things sometimes, or I like separate little things. I'm like, can you like separate this? I do that. So it's really kind of like just be mindful. You don't have
Hmm.
it's not gonna be perfect. You can still go out, you can still modify things, but just be mindful when you're hungry to just what you're gonna do. It don't have to be all the time, but yes, if you're gonna go out, just do that, because let's be real, for the price that you're gonna pay going out, you really could have meal prep like 3 days.
Yeah,
Of
I know that's right.
Let's keep it
Hmm.
on. Like going out and to
Yep.
spend like a certain amount, that could be like even 3 or 4 days like meal prep that you could have did. So it's a price you gotta
Yep.
pay. So just be mindful of what you do, because you can still go out, have a good time, and still eat.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And just like you said, just like being conscious of what you're doing and like understanding too that like all the work that you put in and all the discipline that you have shouldn't take too much away from your social life. And it gets to the point where like you're so disciplined that sometimes you can end up kind of isolating almost because you're trying to live and maintain a certain healthy lifestyle that you might find that it isn't suitable for everyone else, so you'll self isolate a little bit. I mean, I'm a victim of that. Like I've done it before. Like I don't go to certain places, I don't do certain things because I find that people are like really enjoying themselves in ways that I'm not right now. And it's kind of being able to like break that up, like, okay, you know what, it's time for me to get outside, it's time for me to go socialize and do my thing, but like you said, just kind of making sure that I'm doing everything in moderation, and then I'm just kind of like being aware.
Yeah.
um But there can be like a very healthy balance.
Yeah. You just like I've seen people just like stress about little things. I'm like, it's not, I can't tell you how many times I've been in uncomfortable conversations. Like, I think like with the whole fitness thing for me, it's like the biggest part, the biggest part is how is it gonna fit into my life? Like when it comes to fitness, it's not really what I'm doing, it's everything else about it. It really is, because when I try to plan things or put things in my calendar, and I just think about how my day usually goes, or like things I do or how I move, I'm gonna really change stuff like that. I don't like this on this day, because I just know it just that don't work. So when people think about, oh, I'm gonna start this on this day, I'm like, you better go for a drive to that gym and see if that route works for you, because I wouldn't like really driving that same thing all the time if it don't work for me. Or if I know that this
Mhm.
hits traffic, yeah, I'm just gonna change it. It is like it is what it is. So that's the biggest thing. People think so hard on it that they don't think about everything else. And then when everything else like hits the fan, they're like, oh shit. Like, and it's like, well, you were supposed to think about like those things. Like I went to the chiropractor and he asked me about the pain in my knee. I've had an injury since I was like 15 with my knee. It still bothers me to this day. And he was like, well, you gotta think about everything else. Like, don't tell me that it's the pain. Why do you want to fix it? Like, it's not the pain. Like, why else? And you have to think about everything else.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think too, like preparation is huge also. Like, so can you tell us a little bit about how do you balance working full time, working two jobs, trying to, prepare your
Mhm.
meals in advance, making sure that you're hitting the gym? How do you balance all those things in your life?
Um, I think it comes down to discipline, to be honest. I think without discipline, you don't think about it. It's like a muscle. It's like, you work it, and it's like I don't think about it. And when I tell you that you got to learn, it is a lifestyle. I really,
Hmm.
to be honest, I don't, to people who try like certain things like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I don't see no issue with that. But the reality is, it's like, it's such a like, that's when I hear people say diet. I hate that word. It's really kind of like a temporary thing to me. It is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're disciplined, you're gonna do it on your worst days, on your really worst days. And you should just work on, that's when they talk about consistency. You gotta be consistent. Everyone throws like consistency, consistency. I'm like, yeah, consistency, but you're really gonna go on the day that it doesn't matter how it is. Like, yes, like apart from working, things like that. Like I have also like my two nephews that live with me, like after my mom passed away last year, and it took me a month to get back into the gym,
Yeah. I'm
to
so
be honest.
sorry.
Thank you. But yeah, like it took me a month and that's the longest break I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah. But that's a
To
lot. That's a lot emotionally
ever
though.
taken a month and since I was like in my teens or my 20s that's so weird to me. But that's what I mean. Like, and I still go, but it did take me like a month to go back.
Yeah. But that's
So
that's a real emotional toll. So it's like
yeah.
even the most disciplined person, the strongest person, like when something like that happens, I feel like that was another really important topic that you just brought up because like you should be proud of yourself just for the fact that you did go back regardless of how long it took you.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people get into this slump and they don't come back from it. Like that's a huge emotional downfall. But you did a really good job like making your way back to it regardless of how long that it took. So you should be proud of yourself regardless.
Yeah, thank you. It did, but that's what I mean. It's go like to take care of yourself, like to everyone else is such like that. To me, it's really kind of it. And yeah, like I'm not trying to. Anyone can do it. It will take time, but to me, it really is kind of like nothing to kind of like go in. I'm so used to it to go, and I see different kinds of people going and like different reasons. I've seen it all, but
Yeah.
you gotta be disciplined to go. Like once you're disciplined, you will go. You trust me, you will go. Like, and now it's been better. It just gets better, and now it's like it's just a lot better now. So just go. See, I
That's
remember
amazing.
when I first stepped back, I was really doing nothing, but I was happy I just showed up. And I told people, I'm like, at least get used to the drive going there. You gotta get used to the traffic. If there's traffic, you gotta get and not do that U-turn back home. Are you gonna get aggravated because there's traffic and you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm just not gonna go? Like, how is
Hmm.
like your patience? Like, are you patient? Because if I've seen people for real, like not be in traffic and then not end up going.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, little things like, are you patient? Like, is that how you like are with everything? Then you're gonna be like that in the gym. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. So do you have any tips or recommendations for anybody that's like trying to just start out in the fitness world or not even just fitness, just like health and wellness in general?
Um, Definitely just focus on what you're trying to get in the long run of it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's not something that you're gonna do temporarily, and then what you really want is just gonna like work on its own. Like you gotta kind of keep doing those things. So
Hmm.
figure out what even if you gotta try different things, but you gotta figure out what works for you because different people will be like, well, this don't work, that don't work. You really have to just try different things, just see what's comfortable with yourself and what you see yourself. What can you do all the time? Yeah, that's it. Honestly, in all honesty, that is what it's gonna take for you to really go in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely agreed.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I,
Where can people find you on social media?
my Instagram is look for la luna underscore fit 88. Let me forget my own Instagram because I got hacked after my last show. I got hacked really bad, and I had to make a new one.
No
And
worries, I'll make sure that it's in the description too.
thank you because I kind of like you say your own Instagram, and I'm like put out there. I'm like kind of like about my own name.
No worries. Thank you so much for joining me today. Is there anything else, any like other tips or recommendations at all that you would like to share with anyone?
Um, this a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but when they talk about gym buddies, don't don't jump into it with a gym buddy. Do not do that because the day that person says, "Oh, I'm just not gonna go today, but you're just gonna get the natural instinct to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna go. Like, don't do that because people always will mirror other people without knowing it, and they will legit do that. So get used to going by yourself. So when they don't want to
Mm-hmm.
go, and things do happen if you don't, your friends, I'm not gonna say they're lying all the time, but the day that they don't go, you're still gonna go. I think that is so important because I think like when they go in pairs, it's just like if one falls and y'all all y'all both just gonna do that. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's the thing. Stop doing that. They do like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
gym buddies. Now, when people do that to me till this day, and I don't even, I could care less. I just be like, all right, cool, and I still go.
Yep.
But don't
Good
do
for
that.
you.
I will say that. Don't do that if you're
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
I don't care if that's your best friend, yo. Dude, don't do it. Go by
I love that.
yourself and then bring people in because most of the time people don't go because the other person like doesn't go. And I know everyone wants support, and I really didn't even have support like that. Like, just learn to go on your own so you can just really just do it for yourself. And then if people want to join you, that's great and everything, but understand some things happen, but don't let yourself like go like that if they don't want to go.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to depend on somebody else's like motivation or ambition. It's like your own self-discipline that's going to get you there every day.
And if they go, great, but if they don't, trust me, you're gonna be like, oh, I'll just go. You just go.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Wow. Well, thank you so much for taking this time with me. I
Thank
really
you
appreciate
so much. It was such a hectic day
it.
today. We're like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, I'll do this right now.
That was perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.